Write email.
What does she need for the party?
She need present for the party.
What does he usually do in his free time?
She usually plays football in his free time.
What does she usually drink at lunch?
She usually drink.
What does he usually eat for dinner?
She usually eat. She usually.
What does she usually do in the evening?
She usually play football in the morning.
What does she usually do on Sunday?
She usually play football on Sunday. She does not usually play football in the morning.
What does he usually wear at home?
She usually wear t-shirt at home. Ăn ngon không? Đấy gì vậy? Không nữa à? Tưởng cái gì?
What does she usually cook for lunch?
She usually cook. Đừng uống nhiều quá, đừng uống nhiều quá, sợ lấy đi cho bọn nó gần hết được thùng rồi đấy.
What does he usually drink in the morning?
She usually drink meal in the evening. She does not usually drink water in the morning. Này, mẹ cho này này mang lên nào.
What does she usually eat for breakfast?
She usually eat right for breakfast. She does not usually eat.
What does he do after dinner?
She took her after dinner.
What does she need for school? What does he usually read before bed?
She usually eat comic before bed.
What does she usually do in the morning?
She usually practice music in the morning. She does not usually play football in the morning.
What does he usually cook on Sunday?
She usually play football on Sunday. She does not play badminton on Sunday.
What does he usually drink in the evening?
He usually drink meals evening, in the morning.
What does he usually do on Saturdays?
He usually play football Saturday.
What does she like to do on weekends?
She like play football on weekend. She does not like play badminton on weekend.
What does he usually buy for the party?
He usually buy present for a party.
What does she usually read at night?
She usually read. She usually read.
What does he usually eat at a restaurant?
She usually eat. Eat eat food at the restaurant.
What does she usually drink at breakfast?
She usually drink.
What does she usually eat for dinner?
She usually eat.
What does he usually do in the morning?
She usually play football in the morning. She does not usually play badminton in the morning.
What does she usually wear to a party?
She usually wear dress for a party.
What does he usually drink in the afternoon?
She usually drink water in the afternoon. She does not usually drink milk in the afternoon.
What does she usually cook for breakfast?
She usually cook for breakfast.
What does he usually read after work?
She usually reading comic after work. She does not usually read book after work.
What does she usually do at the weekend?
She usually play football at the weekend. She does not often play football in the afternoon.
What does he usually buy at the supermarket?
She usually buy
What does she usually play after school?
we often play football after school. She does not often play badminton after school.
What does he usually watch on TV?
She usually watch cartoon on TV.
What does she usually do in her free time?
She usually plays phone in her free time. She does not often play football on her free time.
What does he usually need for school?
She usually need both for school. She does not need school bag for school.
What does she usually do on Sundays? What does he usually wear at home?
She usually wear t-shirt home. She does not usually wear
What does she usually eat for a
combat at
snack?
home. She usually eat dry for snack.
What does he usually drink in the evening?
Ê, bụng ơi, bà ơi. Bà gọi gì vậy?
What does she usually cook for lunch? What does he usually do after dinner?
Thì anh sôi sôi. Có hộp sữa không cho anh? Hộp sữa không? Ăn em. Tí nữa ăn.
What does she usually buy online?
Biết đâu. Mẹ đi mua bún riêu. Thì đi đâu em không biết.
What does he usually read before bed?
Usually read book before bed. Read comic before bed.
What does she usually need for work?
She usually need
What does he usually wear to school?
she usually wear
What does she usually eat for lunch?
she
What does he usually do in the evening?
she usually play football in the evening. She does not usually play football in the afternoon.
What does she usually drink at breakfast?
She usually drink.
What does he usually cook at home?
She usually cook.
What does she usually do in the park? What does he usually eat at a restaurant?
She usually eat eaten.
What does she usually watch on the weekend? What does he usually need for the party?
She usually need present for the party.
What does she usually do in her free time?
She usually plays football on her free time.
What does he usually drink at lunch?
She usually drink meal at lunch. She does not usually drink.
What does she usually eat for dinner?
She usually eat. She usually eat.
What does he usually cook for breakfast? What does she usually buy at the market?
She usually buy food at the supermarket.
What does he usually do after school?
She usually play football after school. She does not usually play football after dinner.
What does she usually wear at home?
She usually wear TC shirt at home. She does not usually wear. Mhm.
What does he usually read in the evening?
She usually read.
What does she usually do on Saturday mornings?
She usually play football on Saturday morning. She does not usually play football. Was busy in the.
What does he usually eat for a snack?
She usually eat.
What does she usually drink in the evening?
She usually drink.
What does he usually need for school?
She usually need.
What does she usually cook on weekends?
She usually cook rice on weekend. She does not usually cook fried rice on weekend.
What does he usually do in the park?
She usually play football in the park. She does not usually play football at the park. Play badminton in the park.
What does she usually watch on TV at night?
She usually watch cartoon on TV at night.
What does he usually buy online?
She usually buy
What does she
she
usually
usually
do before
buy
going to bed?
she usually play football before going to bed.
What does he usually eat for lunch?
She usually eat right for lunch.
What does she usually drink at breakfast?
I don't know.
What does he usually cook at home?
She usually cook right at home. She does not usually cook it at home.
What does she usually wear to school? What does he usually do in the evening?
She usually play football in the evening. She does not usually play football at noon.
What does she usually eat at a restaurant?
She usually eat right at the restaurant. She does not often eat meat at
What
the
does he usually do
restaurant.
on Sundays?
I don't know.
What does she usually buy for the party?
She usually buy she usually buy
What does he usually read before bed?
she usually read
What does she usually do in her free time?
she usually play football in her free time.
What does he usually drink in the morning?
She usually drink she usually drink milk in the morning. She does not usually drink water in the morning.
What does she usually cook for lunch?
She usually cook Book drive for lunch.
What does he usually wear to work?
Usually wear come to work.